We are in the insulation stage. I bought myself some polyiso 1 inch thick. It's foam with a foil on the outside. Probably a little bit of overkill for this trailer. I've skimped on the windows, but I really didn't want to skimp on this insulation. And for those that are asking, the windows are single pane and they're not insulated, but we can seal them up with Reflectix when needed to help out with energy loss. So here's my issue today. Is got the nose all insulated, and coming up to the wiring. The manufacturer put some rubber grommets or plastic grommets here around where the metal can't touch the wiring, which is fine. But when I put the polyiso on there, it's going to mash the wiring up against that aluminum, which is great breeding grounds for chafing over time, and you're going to have random shorts in the trailer. Or I can run them over here on the side where they'll rub against these nice self-tapping sheet metal screws. And again, we're going to have random shorts in the future. What needs to happen is they need to be wrapped, they need to be protected probably by some tubing of some kind all the way down, so that there's no possibility of chafing like this. It slows me down. It'll probably be done. It just makes it slower, because I wanted to get this insulation done today, and now I've got to go out and find 25-30 feet of some sort of tubing to protect this wiring. And more than likely I'm looking at maybe fuel line or vacuum line. It's got to be flexible to be able to get up inside of these situations. So we've got these wires here, we've got them all around the trailer, and this has got to be done before I can progress on the insulation. Well, I got the products here to solve the wire wrapping issue. I went to a big box store, I bought some flex tubing. It's plastic, it's made for this, I've used it before. It's rather thin. I really wasn't too excited about it. 10 foot of it, 3/8 and a half inch is $4. And then I also bought some Super 88. Now this is the heavy duty electrical tape to try to wrap on the ends. What I did like about this plastic tubing, when I got it open, I found out it's got two different sizes in there. It's got the 3/8 tubing, and inside it's wrapped inside the 1/2 inch tubing. So really what you've wound up with is two different sizes of the plastic wrap tubing. I kind of like that, because all you need is the 3/8 for a single strand of wire. You don't need a monster piece of tubing, so I'm kind of liking that. Now it's time to put it on. Now that I've got the wires wrapped, you can see how it all has come together. And so I also put some tape around the sheet metal screws to help insulate it from poking into the wire as well. Now the cool thing about this plastic is that it's split. It's got a natural split to it. Let me show you here. So it's very easy to split it open and put it over existing wires. And when you close it, it forms a loop around it, and you can also put some electrical tape around it to keep it from splitting back open. You'll see in some spots I'll have electrical tape right here. I've got some here, and it just keeps the wire on the inside. I also bought, it's got the two sizes, so I've got the small here on a single strand of wire, but it slips up inside the larger piece of tubing to cover more than one strand of wire here. So I've done it well on this side, where you can see I've got it. Nice little protected channel now. And I just got through doing this right here for the side marker lights. And it's all the way up to the top. And we'll be putting in a piece of ISO board in just a minute, and that'll capture it and keep it up against the aluminum. Now you can see I've got the wall insulated, and you can see the channel I left here for the wire to run, and it's running along the bottom underneath there also. So it's got the plastic wrap around it, it's got the heavy duty tape around the screws, and the loom itself, the plastic itself, has got tape holding it closed so that the wire doesn't vibrate and escape out of it. So it should be pretty good from any future shorts. Well, there you have it. The walls are all done except for just a little strip. It took, to do these walls, I did not do the door, it took about 5 boards, a little less than 5 boards, and about 6 hours of working at a medium pace. I still have to put a strip right across the top of the header here and down this side after I plug in that hole and that hole and those 2 holes where the door bars were. I've also got a couple of pieces I can put in here, here, and here, just some little filler pieces. Got the wires, gaps for the wires. There's the wiring. Now this wiring here that I'm talking about is the wiring for the clearance lights and the fender lights and the brake lights and tail lights. This isn't the wiring that's still got to go in for the solar panel and for shore hookup and all that. That's still going to be put in. I've also got to insulate the ceiling, and that's the next part. That's going to be the fun part because I've got quite a curve. I've got a gradual curve across the top here, but then on the sides I've got a heck of a curve right there all the way down. So all of this on the walls, none of that was glued in. All of that was just wedged in. This on the ceiling, I'm going to try to wedge it in, but it may take some adhesive to get it to stay up. So more to come. So I tried an experiment to see whether this ceiling insulation, this foam board, would make that curve. I've got 23 inches between my ceiling joists. I guess those are beams. And so I cut a 5-foot piece because I know it's not going to make that curve. So I got a 5-foot piece and put it from side to side and wedged it in and pushed it up, and it would make that curve. It did make that curve. I'm surprised and impressed. That also means that I don't need an adhesive for that because we'll put a board, a shower board or something across the top to enclose it. So if it comes a little loose and settles down, that's okay with me. I'm trying to keep away from any chemicals in here that I can get away with, and these adhesives are going to give off a smell for a while until they cure, and I really don't want to have to deal with that. I'll probably go with about a 5-foot 6 inches piece to get right here, right at the beginning of the curve, and I'm about 2-3 inches away there, and 2-3 inches away there. I'll probably keep this piece, but the next ones I'll make a little bit longer, and I'll just fill in that piece. Well, we got them all wedged in on the ceiling. We still gotta fill in the corners. Where's that? Right here. Okay, gotta fill all that in. I'm thinking maybe one piece at an angle. I don't know. We'll see. Probably tomorrow or the next day I'll work on it. Still got a few filler pieces we gotta fill in. Started working on the nose cap, and I had to glue in this with some ultra adhesive, some power grab, but it wasn't curving to touch. The adhesive wasn't touching. So I took my truck bed wedge jack, whatever you want to call it, put it on my toolbox, put some foam on it and jacked it up and put some pressure on it to hold it in place. So I'll let it sit there for a day, 24 hours, and let it all cure, and then pull it back out and let's see how it works next trip. Well, here we are the next day, and we can see that the adhesive held. So this is really, really cool. We've got the curve in. All of this got stuck up here really nice. I've still got to fill in around here, all the way down, all the way to the back on both sides. And also it rained today, so I got a couple of little water leaks. I got a little water leak down here. I got to figure out where that's coming from. And I got a little water leak back here by the cargo door. Really happy with the adhesive and the way it stuck.